Hey guys, it's Matt from Inside Vesting, and today I want to talk about one of the pillars that I talked about in building a strong financial foundation, and that is your credit. Understanding how your credit works will give you so much more than just your credit score. It'll give you much better interest rates on your home loan, auto loan, or just credit cards in general. But before we move on to that, I just want to give you a little quick update on the channel itself. Like I said, I wanted to get to 10,000 subscribers within 1 year. And as of right now, we have 9 subscribers and 32 total views across both videos. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up putting the numbers in the intro, just in the bottom. So if you're following along and you wanna know how the progress is going, that's where you can get that information. All right, with all that being said, let's get into your credit. Biggest myth actually comes from my mom. She was horrible with credit cards and credit. She would just get one credit card to pay off the other credit card, but really just added up to more and more debt. Well, that wasn't a myth. I mean, she did have a lot of debt. But the myth that she always told me was that if you carry a balance from month to month, credit card companies like that and it helps your credit. Well, she's not wrong. Credit card companies do like that. But it's because they make money off of you. It actually does not help your credit whatsoever. All you're doing is giving away free money. All right, the second myth she used to tell me all the time is that if you are done with the credit card, you should just close the account. Cut it up, cut it out, boom. That's better for your credit, right? No, not at all. And I'll tell you in a little bit why that's not good. Okay, let's get into the 3 things that make up your credit. And when I say credit, I don't mean your credit score. I mean the meat and potatoes, the substance that goes behind the credit score that makes up your credit. I say this all the time, but your credit score is kind of like the shell of a car. You may have in front of you a beautiful Mustang, but until you know what's underneath the hood, you really don't know anything about the car. Like, is it a V6, a V8? So until you know what's underneath the hood, you don't know the horsepower, the torque, you don't know if you're getting a good bargain or not. And those 3 big rocks that are the substance to your credit are your total credit, your available credit, and your credit history. Now I know there are a lot of other things, smaller things that go into your credit rating. So I know I'm gonna get comments below saying, oh, you forgot this, this, and this. Focus on those 3 big rocks, because if those 3 rocks are strong, then so will your credit. All right, first off, let's talk about your total credit. Now this is all of your credit accounts combined. Let's say you had one credit card with a $1,000 limit and you had another credit card with a $2,000 limit. Then your total credit would be $3,000. Makes sense, right? Thing is, I want to be clear. Your total credit has absolutely nothing to do with the amount of money in your account. You can have $100,000 in your account, but if you have no credit, then when you go to get a car loan or a home loan, it's not gonna matter. Like, you have 0 credit, so you might as well have just paid for it in cash. Your total credit limit comes into play huge when it comes to the next piece, the available credit. Available credit is how much money you have on these accounts divided by your total credit. With that $1,000 credit card that you had, and you say you wouldn't purchase something for $100. Well, 100 divided by 1,000 is 10%. So you have 90% available credit. Now imagine it was 20%, like you bought an $800 computer on this $1,000 credit card. Now you only have 20% available credit. Like, that doesn't look as good. Now, let's say you had $10,000 of available credit. Now that $100 purchase is 1% instead of 10%. Even better is that $800 computer that you purchased. What at once was 20% available credit left over. Now with a $10,000 limit, that $800 is actually 8%. So now you have 92%. See how much of a difference total credit gives you? The available credit number inadvertently shows how responsible you are. Like, you only used 1% of all this credit you have. Like, good for you. All right, when I started building my credit, I would call my credit card company every 6 months and say, hey, I want to increase my credit limit. Okay, to how much? $10,000. Whoa! Why so high? Like, what are you gonna do with it? Yeah, nothing, but $10,000. And they would go into their computer and they'd say, okay, well, we can give you $3,000. That works for me. 6 months later, call back and say, hey, I want to increase my credit limit. Say to what? $10,000. How about $5,000? Okay. And I kept doing that. Eventually, I got to a $100,000 limit. Was I ever going to use that $10,000 or $100,000? No. but I mean, it was going to increase my total overall credit. The last piece I want to talk about is credit history. In the last video, I talked about how you can use various methods to build your credit history. If you're trying to establish credit history from ground zero, there are two ways I recommend taking a look at. Number one is a secure credit card, and number two is a savings builder loan. Quickly, a secure credit card is one that has a refundable deposit, let's just say $500, and that $500 is your credit limit. And then eventually after say 6 months or so, you'll get your $500 back, and now you have a credit card with that $500 limit. And the second piece is a savings builder loan. A savings builder loan is a loan that you cannot touch. You put into an account and it pays itself off over the months until it's eventually paid off. And in the end, all you paid is the interest payments. And really, to build credit history, those interest payments are money well spent. Both of these strategies will help you get your credit off the ground. Consider credit history like a stopwatch. As soon as you open a line of credit, you hit that start button. And the goal is to never hit stop. And this is exactly why canceling credit cards may not be a good idea. My mom's advice, just cut the cord, cut everything, it may not be good. I have many credit cards that I never use anymore, but I don't cancel them because I need that for my total available credit. The only ones I would consider closing are the ones that have an annual fee that is costing me money just to have it open. But really the big key takeaway here is to start young. Start as soon as possible. Build that credit history as soon as you possibly can. Because remember, as soon as you hit that start on the stopwatch, it's just gonna keep ticking. So that's why old people have a lot of good credit, right? Just kidding. All right, before we go, I just wanna share a couple of dings that I get on my credit history all the time, and really they're not that big a deal. It doesn't really drop my credit score or credit rating very much at all. First, I get too many accounts with balances. What I will go into later on in later videos about how I use credit cards to actually make money. Each credit card has a purpose that I get cashback points on different things, and because of that, I'll have many cards open with balances at any given time. So that's why you get that one. The second ding I get is too many inquiries. Now this happens when you go to open a credit card, go to buy a house, buy a car, something like that. Whenever you're trying to get a loan, anytime somebody goes and pulls a credit report on you, that's a ding as an inquiry. The thing about these type of dings is that if the same type of inquiry happens in a short period of time, then it doesn't go against you compounding multiple times. For example, if you're trying to buy a house and you're shopping around for the best mortgage, if one broker pulls your credit report, it'll ding. The second one pulls your credit report because you're shopping around, no extra ding. So that really encourages you to shop around. If you're gonna do it, just do it. Well, there you go. Those are the three big rocks that are that substance behind the credit score. Your credit score is what brings them to the table, but those three rocks are what give you credibility. Pun intended. So tell me what you think. Does that make sense? Is there something I missed that you think that everyone should know? Comment down below, and please like and subscribe and help me continue making videos like this to help people like you. Thanks. Yeah. Well, you should see the videos before. This is all I do.